do you say? Deee-lite! No.
What have you got to lose? And again? That was good. Okay, and again?
There's a lot of myths about deee-lite. People think that there's like this corporate executive board of people sitting around deciding what to wear.
Last night, and I wanted to ask you this, speaking of phony stories, that you were in a band called Raging Slab.
Yeah.
And that you aren't Russian at all, or you may be of Russian heritage, but you were an American guy.
Дорогие друзья, я вырос в Советском Союзе.
Comment ça va? I can speak French, but that doesn't make me French.
Well, I lived there until I was 16 years old. I grew up in the Soviet Union, and I went to 8 years of music school in the Soviet Union, and that's where I learned music theory and composition and things like that. And
so that's another myth that is circulating.
Yeah.
When 10 million people buy a Milli Vanilli record and they don't realize that it's fake.
Girl, you know it's true.
10 million people did fall for it, so you can understand that kind of skepticism that I'm glad that people find out about the truth, but I just wish that they would recognize something real when they see it.
Watch out.
You seem to spend a lot of time on your wardrobe. Where do you get those fabulous
Not as much
clothes?
time as people think. We'll go to the next question. I'd really prefer people to concentrate on the music. It can't really come close to, the music is really sacred, whereas the fashion is like the icing on the cake. Sometimes people put so much emphasis on that. We get asked the same questions all the time about fashion. No, sir.
Fashion is just a very small part of us.
But don't you feel that take away all of your fashion, and I mean, you've been wonderful to Pucci. I mean, it's been, you cannot help but think of deee-lite and a certain look as opposed to different bands. Take away that, do you think it would still be the same band?
Well, like I just said, like I just said, I don't know if you heard what I said.
No, I did hear that you've
our first single came out in a white sleeve, no nothing. All it
Shot
said was
right up
deee-lite.
to the top of the dance
Number
chart.
one on the dance chart. So that's how we did that on purpose to prove that what your question is now.
It's the music that's the important part.
Yeah, good, good. I want to thank you for coming by.
Thanks a lot.
Take
Thanks
care.
for having us.
Thanks. I like their music. I mean, contrary to what you may have perceived in the interview, I just have some problems with, if someone starts off questions being so defensive and purporting to be not fake and not have, and they resent these myths. Well, part of the myth is what's selling their albums, in my opinion, and to be so defensive about it as opposed to just embracing it, which I think their image does.
How do you say? Gorgeous.
What are they saying? Well, it's obviously marketing.
You know, a lot of people think that we're some kind of like plot by some record executives.
Sylvia, may I ask you, what impression do you have of Italian? Just tell him, dear, what you think about Italian food.
Oh, I do it. Especially spaghetti and cannelloni.
Plot by some record executives to, you know, to create this, this concept. It was, you know, it was pretty organic. We kind of come up with our own marketing strategies.
I mean, let's face it, we're ham.
Hey, you.
Marcello.
But on TV, that was on TV last time.
You guys would look cute in that fountain, too.
Yes, Sylvie. I will join.
This is what you want to see. This is what, yeah. This is what you want to do. This is what you want to be.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. We have a contest winner from our contest, of course, where you had to put on your the grooviest outfit. Tell us why EC was the grooviest show, and you guys had, like, a look at all these pictures, and you have a winner. Why don't you announce their name?
Okay, this is Courtney Wise, and we thought she was the most wise because, well, she's androgynous, and we do like an androgynous look. And she seems to be the most original, and that's how we classify our style as individuality while retaining a social awareness. And
They're gorgeous. We're not out there to have people imitate us. You know, we're not interested in that. If people want to, I mean, you can't help that. But, you know, we really would rather have people do their own thing.
Do your own thing?
yeah, do your own thing.
I prefer the more individualistic ones than the clones because, well, at least the clones are conforming to nonconformists. But
So do you think that there is some kind of new psychedelic mind meld occurring in little pockets of support around the world?
well, I mean, basically, the reason why we named our album World Click was because it's like a welcoming song to welcome the 5 billion members of the world to the World Click. Nothing is really about a small click. With us, we really emphasize the World Click.
They just sing about the groove.
It's the global groove. That's what they talk about. That's what they believe in, and it's a real philosophy for them, so I enjoy that. When you dance to their music, you feel there's a real philosophy behind it.
Well, I think music has always been around throughout history to bring people together, and my favorite music has been the type that aspires to look for better days.
And unite people on the dance floor, all cultures or walks of life.
For us making an effort to be positive, maybe it's a reflection of, I think, everybody trying to say, hey, we can't just run and cower. We have to try to get together, and people that will protest certain things can create a bond and have the strength to go on and to keep those dreams and aspirations for better days.
Thank you, Toronto. Peace. Lots of love.
The other side of the token, I mean, they're smart people because it's this whole peace thing. It's really picking up on the bandwagon, and it's doing well for them. It's a marketing thing, like I said.
I think that the 80s, it was actually very trendy to be apathetic. And that's why I say people weren't voting. People were blaming corporations for polluting, when instead of saying, you know, what am I doing about it? What did I buy? Why did I buy something with...
Me. Well, when can I get my next VCR or whatever? But now we realize that we are, each individual is responsible for their actions. And what am I doing to change that? I mean, am I recycling? Am I, you know, am I going to an AIDS benefit? You know, am I doing something to help the problems that exist?
It's all right to talk about sex, and it's all right to throw condoms to people, you know, in the concert. I thought that was great. You know, and people should dress the way they want to and say whatever they want to, but they're not vulgar. They're good, clean, fun cousins. You know, love and peace. It's marketing for sure, but they really believe in what they're saying, and it works for them. They're doing really well, aren't they?
What the three of us do in our living room, it takes 9 people to translate live, completely live. And we thought that in this day and age of imposters and phony balonies and Milli Vanillis and lip stinkers, that we should do it completely live and show everybody that dance music is a credible form, and it's important to show people, to remind people what it's like to do something completely live. Depending on how you see it, the ship is free, or maybe sinking, depending on how you see it. The song is over, or it's replay, depending on how you see the time, or wasting time, or in a moving line.
coordination under a group.
Yeah. And it's being shown throughout, not only us, you know, it's been shown throughout a lot of music, you know, that, you know, people are mixing up and doing different things, trying different things, you know. It's just being shown.
There's people just being themselves, grooving, and, you know, social groups of people that normally might not be together in one room are in that room together, and they're socializing, they're interacting, and it's really positive and very liberating, I think.
Yeah. The World Week?
It's the World Week.
Yeah.
Including Wigstock, a New York drag queen festival. They have definite ideas about playing live and how to involve their audience in the deee-lite experience.
The choreography is really free. On certain parts we come together, but we really try to stress the individual aspect of it. So the people in the audience can don't have to be intimidated by the choreography. They can just get into it, get into the show, and start dancing themselves. It's really important. We give out flowers, and we take Polaroids of the audience and give it back to them so they can leave their own picture.